Hello, my name is Lord Sciaton, and this is my expanded edition of the tutorial. And this is part 1. And we'll just jump right into it. It's more or less whatever it wants us to do is look at this bar, which is up here, up in the right corner. What it does is if you press on it, the time will begin to continue on. And if you pause it, it will stop. But what it does not tell you is that you can use your space key to start and stop it. You can also you can make the time go faster by clicking up this, and slower when clicking up down this is from 1 to 5. But what it doesn't explain to you is that you can use your keyboard as well as plus and minus. I didn't have time to show, but you can see it works. And now it wants us to click on our portrait and tell us that your brother is our heir and we are unmarried. But if you can see here is the heir, but a new feature which it hadn't when this tutorial was made did not exist back, is that you can see your line of succession. That if your brother dies, this guy will take over, and so on. And if both the brothers die, your sister will inherit. And she died, and your other sister, and your cousin, and then your other cousin. This also shows which counties you have underneath you. We will come into that in a bit. But let's look at your character. What are you looking at here? I am going to delve more into this in the next video. So I'm going to save this for later, but this is about how your realm goes. But this here is your stats. And that's your diplomacy is how well you interact with other vassals and person in the game. If you have high diplomacy, how it also react. It's also how well you act with foreign rulers. Your marshal is. It's how good of a general and how many troops you can gain and such. It have nothing to do with how well you fight in a battle. It will come. But it's there. Your stewardship is how you rule your realm, how well you rule it, and how efficient you rule it. The higher your stewardship is, the more personal domain you're able to get. And the stat intrigue is, well, it's how how good you are at shady business, at plotting, at killing and imprison and fabricating claims and such. Your learning is, well, how educated you are. It's it gives you a bonus to piety and some education overall. And this down here is your personal combat skills. This is how well you are in a battle, in a fight. And the second thing we're going to look at is your traits, which is over here. This is how your character act, and all these traits interact with all this. If you see on diligent, it gives a +1 to all of them. And with we hover over here, we can see that diligent is down there, which gives us a +1. Deceitful, which is here, gives a -2 to diplomacy, but it also gives us a +3 to intrigue. And all these interact with those over here. Some traits do not directly give or add anything over here, but they give another bonus or penalty. And this over here, all to the left, is always your education, which is how well you're raised when you're a child. You have from 16 years. You have you can be educated by a personal teacher or a guardian, and and the key point about this, you can see there is these tiny stars, I want to call them. You can have from 1 to 4, and the most stars you have, the better you are. This is only 2. He only have 2 stars, well, and 2 and 1. She is terrible at her dealing, at her whatever she's educated in. And as you notice, these have different colors, and that match the stats over here. If you are up with this purple, it's connected to the intrigue. You can almost see the color behind here. But if it's blue, it's diplomacy connected. If it's red, it's martial connected. If it is yellow, not green, but yellow, it's stewardship connected. And well, purple for intrigue, and white for learning. Again, the more stars you have, the better. I think she was also. You can see she is a lower tire level, lower education level than I am, and it gives a different bonus from her to mine. So, but mine is better. And down here you can see what claims you have. Claims is what you can inherit from your parents. There's some different kind of claims, which I am going a bit further in another video. But again, this is something. You are a king, but you can see a strong claim of kingdom of Castile and Galicia, which make you you're able to go to war and win those titles. But again, I will go more into that. The next is your relationship, which is all these tabs down here. The family is fairly straightforward. Parents, that's your parents and grandparents, your grandparents, your children if you have any, and your siblings. As you can see down here, if you click on your father, you can see yourself as the children. You can also hover over and see that's your father. You can also hover over and see if someone is the heir of something, that he's the heir of Kingdom of Leon, and we are the heir of the Kingdom of Castile. And now the next one is your friends, which will have opinion boost to you. Your rivals, which will hate you. Marriage tie, that's on who you're married into, and of course he doesn't have anything. Huh. That's perhaps because she's dead. And lovers if they have any. Vassals is the vassal underneath you. Yeah, your vassal underneath you. And here I want to speak about the tier system, because there is a tier system, and it's about the ranks. As you can see, these guys here have a bronze or brown ring around them. This guy have a silver, and we have a gold. But that is this is about the ranks of the realm, and you can, by the way, see which tier this is under. But the lowest one is Baron, and if we click on County, which is over here, you can see all these underneath here. That's baronies, which is underneath you. Ignore that. Which is underneath the county level. The count will rule a county, and this, which is up here, the top slot, is the county, which you also can see, the county capital. You can, by right clicking, you can make this the county capital. But that's the second level. You are unable to play as a baron, but you can play as a count, and that is those with those small silver rings around them. If you want to to see a duke, if you're looking at a duke, you can see there's a more solid ring around him and a little gem down there, and some up there. If you're clicking at a king, oh yeah, this is a good tip. If you right click on a county, you can see the owner of the county instead of just going up and clicking. You can just right click. But the kings have a golden ring around them, and if you look at emperors, which is this guy, the Holy Roman Empire, you can see he have an even more shinier ring around him, around his portrait. But the more powerful you are, the better. But all the player needs to have at least one county underneath them, and so does the computer if they want to be a duke or a king or an emperor. If they have no counties under them, if they lose somehow the last county and are unable to get more, they are no longer a king, emperor or duke. So all rulers which is playable must hold a county, and you can see here we have 3, which also our titles. You can also have some dukes underneath. You can also be a duke, and you can be a duke up until well, if you're a duke, you can have as many duchies as you want. But if you are a king, you can only hold two duchies. But and if you hold another duchy, people will start to hate you, like really much. So yeah, and I think I will go more into detail in a later video with what's the bonuses and penalties for well, how duchies work. And yeah, oh yeah, and I almost forgot another little sneaky thing is, which is going to ask you about, is your ambition, which you can choose up here. Improve learning. Well, this is because you have under 7 in both of these categories. You can improve them. You can find a wife, which gives a little bonus. You can see all these ambition gives a different success when you achieve something. They give you a little bonus, so to say. Amass wealth gives you 1 stewardship. That is actually a good one. I also like to get this one. These 2, yeah, well, I get them, but it's not the first on my list. But as I know this tutorial, I am going to get married, because this is one of the first things we want to do. And yeah, I think this is the first video we are going to. Oh yeah, you can, by the way, see, you can scroll up and down, up in the corner. And yeah, it'll just explain what I just said. And the last, we're going to take one last, because before we close this. And it's explained here that we are going to die at 40. So we have 14 years left to play before we die out. So we must be in a bit of a hurry then. But this was episode 1. Thanks for watching.